witches at black masses, evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction, in the fields of bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind.
Oh, whoa, hey, I'm live. I was dancing. Every time I watch the new intro, like I ask myself, because I had to cut it right when it says death and hatred to mankind. Because why not? Because we're the complete opposite here. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Shaman Sundays. I think I'm your host, Brandon Cooper. I don't know. No freaking clue from time to time. Greg Koss, what's up, buddy? Becky, hello. Russell, I'm glad you're tuning in. Will you be available tomorrow? I've just been super busy all day, but I can get you set up tomorrow. Just let me know in the comments. How is everybody this wonderful beginning of the week? Let's like the saves. Let's get rid of like all of that crappy drama and filthiness and negativity from last week out of the way. And this is my new one. I got a little sweetgrass right there. So we're starting a new sage because I am completely burnt out of the other one. It's how we do things. Okay, cool, Russell. Yeah, I got you tomorrow. Not feeling well today. That's okay. It happened. Becky, I had a feeling that you weren't doing too good. But it's okay because good things are coming for you. You'll be over here on the East Coast before you know it. And you'll be amongst friends and people that respect you and love you as opposed to where you're at right now. But I do give you good, happy energy, healthy energy. You'll be well and it will be worth it. So let's talk about a couple things here before I bring on my guest, which I am super stoked about. And I know that's a podcaster's way of saying stupid stuff at the beginning, but I'm really excited, guys. Let's plug the paranormal event out in Deadwood, South Dakota real quick. I got it, Rex. The Spirits of Deadwood, September 29th and 30th, Deadwood, South Dakota. I'm going to put on my announcer voice. Come see Sexy Rexy the Dragon Slayer, otherwise known as Rex Nielsen. We've got Miranda Young the Ghost Biker. We have KD Stafford. I don't really know who that is. Nobody knows who that is. And we have Marilyn Bast, among others. It's going to be great, guys. We're renting out the entire historic Bullock Hotel. VIP packages, meet and greet packages are available. We're going to have a historical tour. We're going to have a graveyard tour that is led by the Ghost Biker herself. Gallery readings, intuitive paintings. We're going to investigate the historic Bullock Hotel, the brothel in Deadwood, and the third and fourth floor of the historic Fairmont Hotel. Y'all, that place is going to be awesome. I will try to put the link for tickets in the description, or if Rex has that, maybe he can put it. We'll figure it out. We'll get it in there. Also, so if y'all watched last Sunday, I was at me and James and Kim from Dark 30 Paranormal were at the historic Scott County Jail in Tennessee with Miranda Young, the Ghost Biker. Had a great time, and I wanted to show y'all just a little piece of SLS evidence that I got because everybody wants to watch an inmate taking a shower. So we're going to do that. We're going to watch an inmate take a shower. Just remember that me and James, and thank you, Trevor Brady, we got a little bored, so we added something maybe you can notice. But without further ado, let's watch an inmate take a shower. Y'all want to? Well, because I'm going to play it. You're going to. Here we go. Sit back, relax. Sorry, I couldn't help it. So a little background on that. We were on the 3rd floor, the max unit, and there was a shower right there in between the cells, and that is where we caught the SLS image data of him taking a shower. And I watched it a couple times, and every time I watched it, I had that Michael Jackson song in the back of my head. So I just had to let you guys into the crazy brain that is Shaman Sundays. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me see. I might have covered everybody. Have we said hello to everybody? Oh, yes, somebody does have a new book out. Let's get that out of the way. I'm going to bring up our producer, Sexy Rexy, the Dragon Slayer, real quick. That's right. Hey,
that was a shameless plug now, wasn't it?
I mean, dude, if you're going to do it right. That's how we roll here at Supernatural Entertainment.
That's right.
Inc. Entertainment. I don't even know what the network name is, and I run it. It's Supernatural Inc. Entertainment.
Yes, we are entertaining.
Something. Tell us about your new book.
My new book dropped last week, and it's the second in a series of 5. My first book, everybody knows, is Unexplainable Art in Black and White. My second book is Unexplainable Art Emerging Colors. Obviously, from the title, it's all colors.
It's in color.
It is in color. I'm very proud of it. Everybody that's gotten it so far says it's absolutely amazing. I've yet to see what it looks like. They should be here this week. So I'm looking forward to that. If anybody is wanting to get one, you can go to Amazon.com. You can just put my name in and my 2 books will show up. Or if you'd like them personalized and signed, you can email me. Let me see. I still have it up there. I'll put it up right quick. There we go. You can email me at unexplainableart23gmail.com. And
don't get it on Amazon. Don't get it on Amazon. This is where I get on my soapbox. Amazon does not like to pay their people. They don't like to pay their authors and artists. I don't care. I've
received this so far.
Yeah. He need whatever. Jeff Bezos, you need to do better, brother, because you're watching my show, obviously, Mr. Billionaire, big pants guy. No, you're not. But I'm saying buy it from the artists. Buy it from the people that put their hard work and money in, because they get their money. It's my show. I can say what I want. Go ahead.
That's right. So that's it. If you have any questions, put it in the comments and we'll tell you about it and figure things out. If we don't have an answer, we'll make one up for you.
Yeah, I'll definitely. I'll make an answer. I'll just come up with something. All right, get off my screen.
All right, okay, I'm out here. Bye.
Also, if you're watching from my YouTube channel, please subscribe and hit. I guess you hit a heart button or something. I don't know. I'm not technologically. I don't know these things. Push some buttons on my YouTube. I'm almost at 100 people, y'all. So, without further ado, I want to bring up my very special guest from New Orleans Paranormal. I'm super excited to introduce Jennifer Talley. Ladies and gentlemen, Jennifer Talley.
Hey.
Hi. Are you scared yet? Are you frightened? Like, what the hell kind of show have I said that I was going to be on?
No, you're hilarious. I love it. I love it.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. So, in preparation for this show, I was with my wife in Ulta, and I am a summer nude. So we're gonna need. Sorry, guys. It's kind of an inside joke because boy did I something. But yeah, so I found that out that I am a summer nude.
That's
So,
too funny. Good. You always got to know your color. It's great.
right. We might get into that later, but my God, it was funny. So, how are you? How was Vegas?
Oh, hot, dry. I much prefer humidity.
I've never heard that before. Wow, that's usually the opposite. Of course, it's 100. It's 100 in hell with it out there.
It is. It's 100 in hell here with, humidity. So
Right.
it was just geography with the same weather, you know.
Right.
We escaped nothing.
No, not at all. And then you had crowds of people and gambling. So
We did. It was for a billiards tournament for my husband. So it did okay.
he's pool shark, are we?
He likes to think so.
Oh, well, I mean, Vegas, I can't even make it across the street to the pool hall. He's going to Vegas. So
I know, right?
So let's just start from the beginning. What got you involved in the paranormal? And then, we'll get the typical podcast questions out of the way, and then we'll just run with it.
Geez. I'm 50. Okay. When I was growing up in small town Wisconsin and seeing different things, mom and dad always told me that was your imaginary friend. Don't talk about it. Right. That wasn't accepted like it is now. So loved paranormal shows, was really, I was watching Ghost Hunters when they started out, loved it, kind of branched off from other shows to that. And then about 5 years ago, for a birthday present, one of my friends here took me on a ghost hunt to one of the places that we hunt now. And I got marks on my shoulders because I kept saying someone's squeezing my shoulders. Someone's like, it's almost like a creepy guy hitting on you. And I'm sure you get this all the time. Creepy guy hitting you on you, massaging your shoulders.
I definitely get this all the time. All the time.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure you do.
Especially at stops.
Exactly. So we went outside and they looked, and I actually had red marks on my shoulders.
Oh, wow.
From it. And so we got back in and we had a spirit box going, and the guy that took us on it says, Jennifer's earthly husband is here. Why are you doing this? He doesn't like it. And over the spirit box we heard, because she's a whore.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, okay, good to know. So
thanks for letting me know.
Yeah. So it was my birthday. So I did go on a ghost hunt while drinking, no bueno, right?
Right. But
so I just said, well, F you. And it said, no, fuck you, bitch.
Yes.
I went, okay, and done.
And it's time for me to leave now.
And time out. See ya. But I started realizing I could feel things. I just knew where energy was. And I apparently was kind of, is it a natural? I don't know. Do you have a natural ability for this stuff? Do you? And it kind of just started from there, that we just found a place to go and we did it. And then we developed, saw New Orleans Paranormal Society, I guess, form.
Right.
They wanted a tour where we took people on ghost hunts. Doing the tour guide thing, people always say, why can't we go in the building? Why can't we go in the building? Well, because no one freaking wants you in their house. That's why. They don't want strangers roaming around their house or their business. That's why. Right. So over COVID, we started just talking to people in the neighborhood. We lived in the French Quarter for about 13 years. A bunch of us got together. The owners contacted us, said, hey, can you do this for us? We said, sure. And so it took COVID and about a year after that for us to finally secure hey, Scott, hey, Kimberly, to secure 4 spots to take people on investigations 6 nights a week. And that's what we do now. We take private cases, but primarily we work for the society that just, what's real on TV? How does this really work? How does this equipment really work? Right. Should I provoke? Should I not provoke? Don't provoke. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right?
Exactly.
So, we just kind of got into that. And, the French Quarter, New Orleans, the French Quarter is the oldest part of the city. We are the most, I'll say, haunted city in the country. And so it's always, why don't you have a ghost hunt? Well, now we do. And it's good. It's a good feeling to educate people about what the realities of what we do are, because so much of that is never shown.
Yeah, and we'll be getting into that here in a minute. But yeah, you're right. You don't see the behind the scenes. A lot of people watch the TV shows and they're like, oh, you're going to catch all this data in 30 minutes. No, they're not.
Except here.
Right. In the real life.
Well, I mean, and here in New Orleans, we actually do catch a lot in quite a short amount of time. We've had other groups come in and go, holy crap, it like starts like right away.
Well, you've also got vampires, so just saying.
Yeah, there's actually one location that we have a dead vampire priest that comes out and he's bit someone.
No. I mean, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Does he sparkle? Is he a sparkly vampire?
No, he's not. I've never seen him, but
Thank
no,
God.
He's not a sparkly kind. He knows Father Sebastian here, so I'm thinking he's the blood-consuming kind.
Right. Yes. So I'm friends with Father Sebastian on Facebook, but one of these days I'm going to make it down there. And
God, he's amazing. He's, it's so fun about him. I've not formally met him, but I've been at an event with him, and it was a very small event, and he was leaving as I was coming in. You'd think that someone like that would just be like, bah, evil, da da da, right?
Right.
You know what? His energy, he is just the softest energy. It's crazy. He's tall and he's quiet.
Oh, well. I don't know. You watch the vampire movies, and maybe that's the actual right energy, the whole quiet and unassuming, and then
the luring, right? The luring, right. Maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
Like, you don't go fishing with a worm with a tuba or nothing. You that was stupid. Write that down, producer man. Worm with tuba. Thank you. Okay, so what else? Let's see. So does your husband, is he into it as much as
he's one of the other investigators?
Yeah. So what's it like, the whole husband and wife team? Because I don't know many.
We don't typically investigate together. It's interesting. Our styles are just polar opposites. Right. Absolutely polar opposites. And some of the people we all know, even Scott and Kimberly Horn can say, yes, you all are completely different, because they have investigated with us at the site where Marie Laveau's house used to be, actually. It's tough because you truly have to back off and decide who's running the show, because if that's not decided and adhered to, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
What about Scott? Wait, what?
Scott, what? Kimberly must want to know, what about Scott and I, Mr. Brandon, us. So I think she's asking how different they are about their investigative style.
Oh, okay. I got it. Sorry. I'm having contact issues, and that's going to be my excuse for not really wanting to answer this question, but I will. First of all, I'm glad that you brought that up, because every episode I do have to say that Scott is a handsome man.
Yeah, he is.
I mean,
he's beautiful.
I mean, there's just Scott. Right. Sometimes I just want to drop it like a Scott. Drop it like a Scott.
I hope he's blushing right now.
It's either that or he has gotten used to it. They have two completely whacked out polar opposite ways of investigating.
Yes.
Scott, I just came up with that one for you, buddy, to drop it like it's Scott. I'm gonna make you a shirt. But it works, it works for them. The whole skeptical yet analytical side, and then the psychic mother's love kind. I don't know. It's so It's weird to describe Kim because she gives out really good vibes unless she gets triggered, and then it's I'm gonna eat you.
No, I totally get it. I mean,
Yeah.
I was with them for a few days. I totally get that.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna hug you, hug you, hug you. Don't cross me.
Right. And I personally I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Scott and Kim, we'll be doing the Sacred Mountain Retreat Center's The Spirits of Deadwood together, and I can't wait. I love getting to go hang out with Scott and Kim. I stayed in their basement one time. They don't know that, but I was in their basement for a couple
And do
days.
they smell different when they're awake?
I mean, they it just smells different. It's
Yeah.
like, Oh my God, what has happened? I love it.
I don't know.
Listen, I told you I do a different kind of show. Different. I can't even speak. I can't even speak English. So you are quite well known in like the circles. I had Howard Petrie on last Sunday, and when I mentioned that you were going to be on, he kind of got this like really approving look. He was backstage, and I'm like, oh. And then I put two and two together, and I've had a New Orleans themed 2 weeks.
Well, and it's funny. He's on the North Shore, and it's funny. We've spoken a few times, and he's like, "Do you know this person? Do you know this person?" I was like, "Dude, I live in the Quarter. We don't leave. You like coming to the Quarter as much as I like leaving it." Like, no, I don't know them, and it's no offense to anyone, but I have a bubble.
Right.
Where I stay.
So, like, do you feel like, do you ever take it for granted, like living in the parade district? With the lots of, throw me something mistas every year and
take it for granted. No, there's strategic planning involved.
I would hope so. I've never made it down, but
yeah, no, I mean, I'm on the quieter end, such as it is. And, I'm about 3 blocks away from how much trouble do I want to get into area.
Right. I gotcha. Oh,
there's a lot of, I was gonna say there's a lot of cooler packing involved with alcohol too. So
it's got to be quite expensive down there.
Yeah, we bring our own because we can.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But so, I mean, you were so lucky to be in such an energetic square, like of area. Like, I mean, is that why you moved to the French Quarter, or was it fate, or, how did that happen?
It's total fate. I'd lived here in 07 and 08 for about a year, and I lived uptown, and it, kind of found herself every time we were bored coming to the Quarter, and people uptown would say, "Why are you going to the Quarter?" It's like, because we're bored and we can walk there. Right. So, thanks, Kimberly. So when we moved back in 2011 and 2012, just apartment hunting, we thought, well, we couldn't find anything uptown. We thought, well, let's try the Quarter. And here we are 12, 13 years later. We're just kind of like hanging out, and you kind of probably have to drag me out of here. It'll be my cold, dead body.
I mean, but why not? Like, I'm looking at the bricks behind you.
Yeah.
In your dormitory. And
I love you.
And I mean, those things look, I mean, so how old? 100+ years old, the building that you're in?
Oh,
maybe?
easy. Yeah, easily. It's a couple hundred.
Yeah, see, okay. So does that come complete with its own spirits? Do you investigate in your own home? How do you feel about that?
Yeah. No, we do. Actually, okay. A couple of things. So where we live, there was a gentleman that passed away in a fire in the 60s. He was painting on a different building about 12 feet from me. We share a roof, though. And he was an artist. And I think he was 22. And he had turpentine all over him from painting. And he was smoking. Right. And one thing led to another. And some people end up pulling him out of a window, the front window, and he spent a week in the hospital with third-degree burns before he ended up passing. And so he used to burn my legs, my arms, until my landlords would talk about him. So we figured out who he was. His name is Bertrand. And so since we started addressing him, he's kind of quit. But we're actually going to have a memorial service for him next week.
Oh, nice.
And because I'm sure he was gay. I know he was. And, back in the 60s, not okay, right?
Right.
Mom and dad kind of shunned him. You could tell by the lack of obituary, and he was kind of shoved in a family tomb that he never, it's like, oh, good, the black sheep in the family's dead, right? They didn't really care. So we're going to have a memorial service for him next week. And I found where he was buried, and the landlords and some friends of ours are going to go leave some flowers and talk to him. And then we're going to come back and try to move him on. Along with whomever else here wants to go. We've got someone who looks like they were in charge of slaves at one point. That's kind of mean. He's in a back building that we used to live in. We have another man who's attached to an object we have named Stephen Holt, who is a pilot in World War II. He attached himself to his fighter wings. And we took him to the World War II Museum, and we were there. I'm pretty sure I heard him say, "I'm staying here." And I tried to convince him. I said, "No, this isn't where you belong. You need to move on." I haven't held the wings in a minute, so I'm going to try that and see if I can feel him. But I think he stayed at the movie.
Well,
and then we have general family members because of family altar.
Well, I mean, talking about the World War II guy. How many other World War II spirits are hanging around in that museum? And maybe,
oh dear, right?
Maybe he's hanging out with the fellas. So
I think that he was. We took him specifically to the building that has the airplanes, since he was a pilot.
Yep.
And we have a year-long membership to the museum, so we just took him there, and we thought, well, let's let you see your buddies. And actually, our intention was to bring some of his buddies home to move them on, but I don't think that worked out the way we thought it was going to work out. He ended up wanting to stay there. But, again, you die, your free will doesn't.
Exactly. And that kind of touches me. I was in the Marine Corps, actually, and I'm a 100% disabled combat veteran. So when you mentioned that, I get it. Because immediately I got the feeling like when I die, somebody take me to the Marine Corps Museum in Quantico and let me hang with the fellas. Yeah, I get it.
If he's at peace there, then so be it.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that he's living it up, man. They're drinking like whatever ghosts drink, and they're having a ball. So that's cool. Yeah. So you're going to have to dispel an opinion that I've had for a long time. I've always, when people ask me, am I going to go down to New Orleans and am I going to go investigate? I said, nope. I have not left anything in New Orleans. I have no business in New Orleans because all I've ever heard is negative. Am I just crazy?
Yes and no.
Sound like my doctor. Okay. Yes and no. Okay.
New Orleans embraces alternative spiritual practices, right? I'm not going to call religion and faith are two very different things.
Right. I get that.
So we embrace a lot of what people would call non-traditional, alternative, whatever you want to say.
Right.
Spiritual practices. And with those, especially voodoo, you do call and open gates. You call on spirits to be able to come through, with whoever they are and whatever they are. And you work with them, you speak to them, etc. Right. Not everybody knows how to do everything correctly, which sometimes leaves these open, which whomever and whatever can walk through.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the mix of all of those things. We investigated a property in the French Quarter we call the Demon House, where a very brutal dismemberment murder took place. And no, it is not Zach and Addie for anyone watching. not that property, completely different. And we went in thinking it was the lady who was murdered, and very quickly found out not so much.
Got it.
So that was the holy crap, holy shit moment. That's
Yeah.
the new investigator. How many mistakes can you make? 3, 2, 1, go.
Right.
Thank God I had an exorcism relic with me, because
Hello,
that
Frank.
kind of saved my butt.
That's another good area we can go down, talking about protections and or at least knowing to put your certain walls up and stuff, because down there, especially, and now I haven't been there yet, but I'm coming down at some point. In my thought process, did it get even darker after Katrina?
100%.
So that would lead to people that are investigating down there need to protect themselves, probably more so than any other area.
Yeah. You can ask Kimberly how heavy the energy is here.
So
It's
what
palatable.
like hang on. Hey sis. Hello, Katie Stafford. And by the way, you're not bothering me. Stop saying you're bothering me. You can call me whenever. I just won't answer. I got thrown off there. It happens a lot on the show. Protections.
Squirrel, but
Squirrel. That hurt a little bit. I'm old, I'm fat, I'm hot. It's just weird. It happens. So they would need to probably protect themselves more. And has like for instance, how do you protect yourself? What are some of your go-tos?
boy, I'm not, and I'm actually, you always need to work at it. Everyone's got crap that attaches to them. I do a lot of work with ancestors, just because of finding out 2 years ago I was a physical medium with every extra sense you can have and control over absolutely none of it.
Right.
A lot of ancestral work. You have the traditional beads, and sometimes we'll wear a gifted rosary.
Mm.
Protection prayers. People ask me if I sage. I'm pretty sure most of the spirits I deal with smoke it. So no,
Right.
we Palo Santo and frankincense, but it's just a lot of that. Protection oils. I had a voodoo priest made me specifically an oil blend. He calls "Begone Evil Shit," so I'll wear that.
I like that.
He's an exorcist as well, and voodoo and vampire and all of the things. He's awesome.
Does his name start with a B? Bell.
Yes, Papa Czar. We call him Papa Czar. Kimberly knows him too.
Yes.
Bell.
I do not know. I don't know him, but I've heard. It just rang a bell. I've heard of him, and I figured that would be that guy.
Oh no, he's fantastic. He came to Marie Laveau's house with us too.
Oh, awesome.
Well, we were running into voodoo, so why not bring one?
I mean, it's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Oh. Also, in that area, we had pirates. Lots of pirates. So, any kind of pirate ghosts, like, I don't know how to ask this. Like, how are you going to know it's a damn pirate anyway? But I'm just curious.
Actually, honestly, I do have a picture from Muriel's on Jackson Square where it looks like Jean Lafitte or a pirate is standing looking at the proverbial ghost table there. And that came from one of our tours. So, but Lafitte's blacksmith shop, never been a blacksmith shop. Actually, it was a tin shop. So metal fabrication, semantics, right?
Right.
Never owned by Jean Lafitte, but we didn't record leases back then. So who knows? Lafitte's owned property across the way from there. So, people have reported stuff. So I don't know.
Right.
I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to tell them they're full of it. Because I wasn't there, so got to kind of take that for a grain of salt. But they were around. I mean, you pirate activity from the Cabildo, which at one point was a prison and courthouse. and pirates would have been in that area, probably drinking. But I mean, in the area, their brethren would have been in the prison. So yeah,
Right.
there's a lot of, a lot of that going around.
Well, and like, me being from South Carolina, I love the pirates because this is, we've got Blackbeard and
Mhm.
then we have Graybeard, Gray. What? No. But so I've always kind of been fascinated with the pirates. Like I used to love going down to Tampa to Ybor City during like the whole pirate festival, and so
Yes, about 90 minutes south of us is where Lafitte's said to have, he and his brother were said to have had their little
right.
station outpost. I don't know. What do you call that for a pirate? I'm not even sure.
I mean, I guess it would have been like the hideout for a
I
pirate.
guess. But if it wasn't for them, we would not have won the Battle of New Orleans. So,
Yes. Yep. And I just love the history. But, I still haven't lost anything in New Orleans. So, but, so,
you just got to
okay,
come
you
here
said,
and be with the right people.
well, you know what? I'm going to calm down. And before I come down, me and my wife come down, I'll reach out to you and your husband and we can set something up because you got really great energy.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
I'm sure your husband does as well because
He's the entertainer of the two of us. So for sure.
but, let me see. Thank you all for.
Hey, baby. I know.
What do we say? Thank you for all for tuning in every weekend to support Brandon. Thank you, sis. That's
Aw.
KD and KD Stafford, Supernatural Inc. making the ghost boxes and all the equipment for Travel
Hey,
Channel.
I actually went on their site to buy one and they were out. So hook me up, Katie Stafford. I'm looking for one.
I run all their sites, so just hang out at the end of the show and we'll talk. I'll get you some.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get you some. Yep. See, she said I got you. Yeah, we got you. Don't worry about that. So we talked kind of the negative side.
Yeah.
Okay, and you said I was half crazy. So now we're going to talk about the other half of the good, side. Now, I want to attend. I've never said this before, but I want to attend a funeral in New Orleans.
Yes.
What the hell? They do it right there.
Yeah.
Even biblical scholars, whatever. If you want to get into that, you're supposed to cry when you're born and rejoice when you die.
Yeah.
And it looks like they got that right. So tell us a little bit about the good, happy side of New Orleans, if there is any.
Oh, there's certainly a lot. This city, this neighborhood, it'll suck you in or kick you out. I mean, there's no in between. You either love it or you hate it. The energy here can be very positive, especially where I live in the French Quarter. I mean, we know all of our neighbors our sidewalks are about 6 feet to the street. We don't have front yards or anything like that. So, and most of the houses touch. So, I mean, we all, we all know each other.
Right.
The neighborhood is great. The history is fantastic. Oh, fantastic. Should I say that?
I mean,
I shouldn't say fantastic. It's interesting because slavery is not fantastic. So we'll just say it's interesting and there's a lot of it. Is probably a better way to put it. But we're haunted because of a lot of the deaths and the slavery and the murders and the Black Hand Mafia, Sicilian thing, and the pirates and the lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my, holy crap! And the voodoo.
Right.
I mean, but it really is such. I don't know. It's just never dull, and it's just kind of be who you want to be.
Well, and it's got the strangest probably vibe. New Orleans is the only place that I've ever heard of the way that you stop an axe murderer is you play jazz in your house.
We never caught him.
Right, exactly. So, but I mean, it's just Really? Okay, I'm gonna go hack these people up, but I'm gonna tell the newspaper if you play jazz when I'm coming around, I'm not gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just I
You know, oddly enough, he never killed in the quarter.
I have a theory on that. I have a theory that he was a jazz musician,
Okay.
and so he wasn't gonna kill in the quarter because that's where all the music was, and I think he thought that if he pulled something off, he would make jazz huge.
It's
And
possible.
I don't know. It's just something that I've thought of, but I do love me some Zydeco and some jazz.
But there's a theory which could go along with yours that he was actually Italian, because he did target other Italians.
True.
So
I don't.
lots of,
That's like okay. So are there any history walks or ghost tours or anything that talk about this guy that nobody knows?
not that I know of.
I mean,
There's a hotel called the Haunted Hotel, honestly, that claims to be one of the hideouts that from the Axeman, but I think they say that they had mediums come in and tell them that, but you know, we lose our, this is just my opinion, we lose our objectivity at medium as mediums if we think that every spirit we talk to tells us the truth.
right.
And so I'm just going to be kind of on the fence there, since we have never caught the Axeman. So I'm going to stay on the fence. I'm not going to say that it's not true, and I don't know the mediums. I don't know anything about them or who they were, so I hesitate to say they're wrong. But I'm just going to go, I don't know about that. You know?
Right. I mean, and probably nobody will ever know.
No.
Unless
there's another
that
theory with a cult.
Oh, what's that one?
So that was back before we shared crime stories. You know, one police department didn't talk to another. That was actually fairly recent, to be honest with you. So the theory is that if you look back historically in this in the South, I wouldn't say Gulf South, but South, there were actually similar murders in other parts of the South right around the same time.
Right.
So their theory is, I don't know that they traveled, but that there was more than one. There's another theory that the Axeman was actually never human.
Interesting.
And, you know, he never used his own axe. The axe was always found at the house.
This is true. Ooh, see now. All right, now I'm the meter's turning up towards me coming down there.
There you go.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
We are going to take a quick second because I would like to introduce my newest shirt line, and I'm going to put it up because you might like this too. So I'm wearing it now. It's the Dobo. Which hand? Is it that hand? Okay, it's the Dobo shirts. What does Dobo mean, you crazy gnome-looking guy? Well, let me show you. I got a couple pictures here. This is two lovely models that we found.
I love it.
One of them, some fat gnome guy, and the other one is James Brady, Dark 30. We both have on our Dobo shirt. So what does Dobo mean? Turn it around. Dolls out, balls out, ladies and gentlemen. Dolls out, balls out. We got dolls, we got cat balls. Dolls out, balls out. What do you think there, Jennifer Talley?
I love it. I want one that says, "Show me on the doll where the ghost touched me."
We can, you know what? I will have one made for you. So we are selling the Dolls Out, Balls Out shirts for $25. If you want one, hit me up on the old Facebook or on the links there. And that's just the first design. But I promise you, I will get you. You will have a doll shirt made, and I will send it to you.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
So we're just looking for some dumb stuff like that. But it was the thing that James and I were talking. We were at Trans-Allegheny, and somehow something came up, and I was like, "Ooh, dolls out, balls out!" And a month later, we have our shirts. So Let me know. $25, any size, even for us fat people. Like, I love it. One day I'd like to call myself a medium, but I'm really an extra large. So, you know.
I don't know. There are days I'm only a medium when I wear Spanx, so I'm right there with you, hon.
Oh, Spanx. That's a name. Like, couldn't we have come up with something better than Spanx?
Where was the inspiration that night?
I've heard of those clubs.
We probably have a few here.
I was gonna say they're in New Orleans.
They have to be. Yeah.
Oh my God. The first time I ever saw a Spanx, I was flying. I think I was in like Dallas Fort Worth Airport, and it said Spanx, and I immediately, because I'm like, hey, what kind of fun is this? Oh,
love it. I love it.
Okay, I'm gonna take a second. Let's look through and see if I've missed anybody in the old chats. Look, I can't even keep up with it. You brought good luck. This is one of the highest.
Yay!
You're one of the higher live views that I've done. I usually get my views on the replays, but we've got somebody said Chris Carr is in here. There he is. Look at there. Chris Carr. He is the one half of Bigfoot and the Bunny on Dark Horse Paranormal Networks. That's a fun show. If you ever get a chance to go on that, that's a fun show.
Amazing.
So hey, Chris, reach it.
Not Chris Carr.
Yeah. Hey, reach out to her. We're having a blast. Oh, so it's a 2-hour show, which I didn't tell you because usually I like to spring that on people last minute so they can't get away. Nah, if we can do maybe get to an hour, then we're good.
We can get to an hour for sure. I got so much to tell you. There's things we can do.
Well, we have. Oh my God! Something just pushed over my light in the room. I have a haunted location as well. But we have up to 2 hours and more. So depending on how the conversation is, we don't have to cut it down when it gets close. We can do whatever. So I usually try to take a little 5-minute, 7-minute break at the hour. So we can, I can get nicotine and sodas, and you can get you whatever y'all drink in New Orleans, blood or. Oh
no, I'm not. I'm not the vampire, but they're fun. We can talk about those. I
really want to. Like, I'd love to get some on the show. I'm a huge vampire fanatic. Like I
know a guy.
I know you do. Yes. But I was that vampire guy that I played the tabletop games, lived the LARP life. I was the gothic kid. Yeah. Super, super intrigued. Yes.
I just played D&D.
I liked D&D, but I wasn't in that cool crowd. So we had to play werewolves and Vampire the Masquerade.
Cool crowd. Wow, we were a bunch of misfits for sure.
Well, I know, but see, that was the cool crowd because the D&D players were a little bit older than us, and we tried to get into the D&D, but they wouldn't let us because
it's like little brother thing, I guess.
Yeah, it was like, we don't want to watch y'all. Well, we want to play. Fine. You know what we'll do? We'll turn into vampires and we will torture you with our typo negative music and stuff. Yeah, so that was Dungeons and Dragons. Katie, don't you dare put up Dungeons and Dragons like you don't know what's up.
Deny.
Right, exactly. I saw you on Stranger Things, Katie. Sorry,
that was my whole group. We used to go to Gen Con in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, because I'm from Wisconsin, and have to go on costume days so we could gawk at all the people in hubcap costumes and everything else they wore. And I got my new jacket every year.
Do you still so talking about going and watching, people in costumes, are you a what do they call it? Cosplayer? Do you do
I am not. I reserve my costumes for for just stuff in the French Quarter because it is Tiara Tuesdays. You just
That
walk out in a tiara and no one will say glitter. I don't care. Just throw it on and be fabulous. But no, I actually didn't have costumes and wigs until I lived here.
that's one cool thing, like an appeal of New Orleans. New Orleans doesn't care,
No. Mm-mm.
like one way or another. No, whatever.
When Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie lived in the French Quarter, they used to go to the blacksmith shop, and they'd walk in, and back then it was just a piano bar. Really, it wasn't what it is now as far as customer wise and popularity. And they'd walk in and just sit down and have a cocktail, and everyone would be like, "What's up, Brad? What's up, Angelina? How you doing?"
Yep.
All right, because it's not that we don't care, but we do, but we don't. Not on that level,
Right. Well, I heard that Brad loved the place so much he still has a place down there.
I don't know where that might be. I mean, unless it's Musicians Village, or I don't know. I mean, look at Nick Cage. He bought 2 houses in the area.
Right.
And he was just here for Overlook Film Festival, where they debuted Renfield.
Oh yes.
And we were sponsors of that, and very excited to see that movie, because that was I loved it. I don't know if you've seen it.
I want to. That's on my list to see because I love.
Do you know what the premise is?
No.
Okay,
I just saw the title. I just saw the title. I'm like, I must see.
Okay, you got my sense of humor. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Dracula and Renfield ends up going to an emotional support group because he is in an abusive narcissistic relationship.
Yes. Oh, that is so what we do in the dark-esque.
I mean, it's great.
Oh,
and
my God.
Nick Cage plays Dracula, and I mean, come on.
I am so gonna watch that.
It's worth it. It's worth
like
it.
I didn't care. I didn't care what it was about. I just saw Renfield and I'm like, must see Renfield. But now that it's in that, and I'm an AA guy. I've been sober for like 2 years, so I get the whole support group thing even more. Oh my God, that's gonna be good.
Oh, it's great. It's great. And because the therapist isn't quite he's not saying, okay, my abusive person I'm in the relationship is Dracula. Like you don't start there. And it's
right. Oh my God.
It was so great. It's so great.
Yeah, that's happening. Hey Rex, put that on the let's watch a movie together list, bud. Mr. Producer Man. Yep. Because me, I'll forget.
You're welcome, Nick Cage.
Yes. I'll have him on next week.
Yes.
I'll tell you who I'd love to have on, though, since we're talking about is Brad Pitt, because I would like to ask him, did he fall in love with New Orleans when he was filming Interview with a Vampire?
I think he did, because he used the same building, which is the Madame John's Legacy Museum. They used it in Interview with the Vampire, and he used it again in 12 Years a Slave. Same building.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean,
same building.
All right. So as we're getting ready to take our little 5-minute break,
Sweet.
I'm gonna ask you this: favorite vampire movie?
Oh crap! God, it's gonna be Interview with the Vampire, and I'm sorry, Nick Cage. If you want to talk dramatic vampire movie, Interview with the Vampire. If you want to talk comedic vampire movie, you're going to say Renfield.
Fair enough.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely.
Most artistic vampire movie.
Artistic. I'm going to go back. I see Lost Boys. Yes, I get you, Tabitha. That would probably be my second. I'm going to go right back to Interview. Tabitha's album, Lost Boys is great. I still love the soundtrack.
All right, I'm going to give you one last vampire question.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite scene in any vampire movie? And I'll even answer that one too with you.
I'm gonna go
Interview of
with
the Vampire.
Tabitha. No, I'm gonna go with Tabitha on The Lost Boys with the
Ooh.
garlic when they're fighting the vampires.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going there.
That's a good one. My ultimate iconic vampire scene is in Nosferatu when he rises out of the coffin.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's
Yep.
just when you think vampire and
Yeah.
chilling, that
Yep.
scene is just amazing. So we are going to take a 5-minute break. Hey guys, hang out with us as we come back and we talk more with Jennifer Talley. God, this is so much fun. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
Well, great, because this is sure shit the shit show sometimes. We love it here. Rex, there's a couple of, if you'll show the
Dracula Untold. Yes, Scott Horn, me too.
Where's he at?
I dig Dracula Untold.
True. I mean, that's a good one. If you'll show some Dolls Out, Balls Out, and a little Deadwood, South Dakota while we take our break, please, sir. And you talk about your book. Why don't you pull us down and you come up and talk about your book?
There you go.
And we'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey, I guess if I turn my mic on, then you could hear me. I'm your entertainment for the next 5 minutes. So, yes, Brandon has new shirts. Let me find it here. Okay. DOBO. And that stands for Dolls Out, Balls Out. So, love it. DOBO. Dolls Out, Balls Out. Got to be loving that. And yes, I'm going to Deadwood. Man, I am so excited. Hey, everybody. Let's see. How am I, sir? I am doing great. I'm doing great, everybody. I'm going to plug my new book again. It dropped last week. And I am absolutely thrilled about it. But I'm going to put this up first. And this is going to be such a great, amazing event. I am so honored to be a part of this. If you look down here, I look so, I'm in deep thought with Jack Handy. And I didn't realize the picture was taken. It was taken by Aaron G. Thompson, took that picture of me. But Miranda Young's going to be there, Josh Purvis, Katie Stafford, and Mary Lynn Best, or Bast. Yeah, we're going to actually, Mary Lynn and I are going to collaborate on some art while I'm there. So give a shout out, share this out. Right up here, you see the QR code. If you do that, it'll take you right to where you need to get the tickets and such. So let's get back here. What are the comments here? Haunted Deadwood, thank you. Deep thoughts. And I was going to release some history because of Deadwood. Well, Kimberly's way ahead of me there. Yes, tickets are well worth it. Yes, absolutely. And private chat, do you think it? So, all righty. Anyway, I'm going to plug my new book right quick. I have been blessed ever since I went to South Carolina I met my tribe and some wonderful, beautiful people. And shortly after I got home, I had my first book published. And if you go to Amazon.com, you'll find both my books. You can just put my name in, Rex Nielsen. As Brandon said, don't buy it off of there because I've yet to see any money yet from the sale of my first book. You have to sell an X amount of dollars before you'll even get a royalty check. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's awesome to go on there and see that I have 2 books that have been published already this year. And, but if you want one, you can get it from me and you can email me right there at unexplainableart23@gmail.com. And from what I understand, people that hi Anna, that have seen and received the new book, I haven't even seen it yet. All I did was approve it, the PDF file, made sure everything was spelt right, and sent it in. I bought my lot of them. They should be here this week. I'm pretty excited about that, to have it in hand. It is the second in a series of 5. So my second book is Unexplainable Art, Emerging Colors. So obviously my first book was in black and white. This one is all in color. There's 1 picture per page. The entire book is in color. There's a reason why the 1 picture starts in it and another picture ends the book. If anybody has a question why, send me an email and I will tell you why exactly. A lot of you already know, but I'm not going to get into that tonight because this isn't my show. Right now it is, but other than that, no. Thank you, Tracy. Hey, Chris. So, yes, if you would like to purchase my book, that's where you can go, unexplainableart23@gmail.com. Sorry, I'm not going to say the prices and everything over here. When you email me, I'll let you know. And the price does include shipping and handling. And I do get to ship media mail. So it works out fantastic. And I want to thank everybody for believing in me and believing in my art and what I do. I try very hard and try to put out the best stuff that I can and just keep improving. So I guess, well, when he's not back yet, so I can fill up the time. Absolutely. But when he gets back, I got to do the thing for him, or I got to do it. Everybody knows what it is, but Jennifer does it. As soon as he gets back, I will do the thing. More nuns, Rex. Yes, James. I've thought about that, and you may be surprised. Let me take that down here. And as soon as he gets his headphone on, here, dun, 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 dun. And introducing back from a 5-minute hiatus. And here he is. Let's bring Brandon and Jennifer up. Are you good there?
Y'all, I'm sweating.
Did you run?
Yeah. I got a phone call while I was smoking a cigarette, and I got to talking. And then I ran up the stairs because my studio's upstairs, and I'm fat, and I'm in South Carolina, and I'm hot.
And you're tiny.
Oh my God.
Like I'm little, so I'm a gnome. I'm a gnome.
I am not.
No, he's the giant. I can show you my co-host.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Oh, what?
Oh no.
Wait, virtual background. What the hell?
It's a
It's a
gnome.
It's a gnome.
Oh, there we go.
Marine Corps gnome.
Yes.
Stupid.
I'm going to do the
virtual
thing right
background.
quick before I take myself out.
Hey, do your thing.
You want
this
me to?
dude, I love this. You're gonna like this
All
too,
right.
Jennifer Talley. First of all, show me on the doll where the ghost touched you. Go.
Autobots, let's roll.
I love it. Nice.
All right, get off my screen.
I thought he was
All right.
going to talk like Bane. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that would be painful for you.
Yes, exactly. So I was thinking, Brandon, you know when you need to come down to New Orleans?
When?
We do there was a celebration that's done at Luke Restaurant. I used to work there because John Besh, the owner, is a Marine. You never were a Marine. You are a Marine, right?
That's true, and I follow him in his cooking.
And he does a celebration at Luke for Marine Corps birthday.
Oh,
including cutting the cake with the swords. And I believe, I'm not sure at post-COVID what this is, but I don't know that it's changed. It is free food and drink for Marines.
oh, yes.
And it is Marines only. Marines and family members or Marines and a friend. So there you go. November 14th, right?
Well, it's November 10th is the birthday, but
November
they
10th.
probably,
Okay.
yeah. But they, I mean,
No,
he
they do
probably
it on
moves
Marine
into-
Corps.
Oh, okay, sweet.
So there you go. There's a date. Pick the date. Appropriate dates. Come on.
That's super appropriate. And I slow down in October from my paranormal events. So, and we have a question here. Will you be at the Fear Fest?
Okay. Fear Fest next month. Yes. Howard, you know what? I'm going to give that Howard Petrie. I'm going to give that man so much credit for doing what nobody else around here has been able to pull off. The answer to that, unfortunately, is no, because where they're having it isn't actually in New Orleans proper, and it is an hour from where I live, and I have to work. We are going to participate in some way, I think, and I haven't gotten back to Howard with this. I think what we're going to do is going to give, the company had said that they were going to give Fear Fest attendees a discount on the ghost hunts. We were going to try to get a big venue together to have a celebrity ghost hunt, all those other things. But so we aren't actually going to be there. But we are going to try to participate in some way to support Howard, because again, he's just we should have a Fear Fest. We should have a Paracon here, right? Right now is Hex Fest with Hex Nola and Omen, and but nobody's, and that's witchcraft and stuff, which is fabulous. They do a great job. In fact, Patty Negri is here putting on some clinics, and so is Silver Ravenwolf. But yeah, no one's ever been able to do what Howard's trying to do. And I hope it gets big enough where he could move it on the other side of the lake sometime. Really do.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, if he has it next year, he has to let me know, because the South Dakota event that me and the Horns and several other people, KD and us with Supernatural League are doing, same weekend. So
Yeah.
And it's the same weekend as Sam Baltrusis' Mass Con, I think.
Oh, Sam's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but man, Howard ain't pulling. He's no pulling no punches, y'all. If you are on this side and you can't get to South Dakota to come see us, go down there and see him.
Yeah, definitely support him. We need to get a following down here so we can keep having them, and it can get bigger and bigger and bigger. He's got to start out where he's starting out, because we have to, right? He has to. And good. He is the one who's had the cat balls to put himself out there and get sponsors and financially try to put it together when there's just so many people who haven't done it. So
right.
The company said they'd support him in that way. It's just hard to get a a venue here in the French Quarter because not many places are big, you know, they're
Right.
small buildings. So yeah, definitely check Fear Fest out for sure. Definitely.
Rex, that's fine if you go out. That's cool. I'm looking at our private chat, and we've got some pretty cool private chat stuff. Like when you said that you were 50, I said I call bullshit.
Do you want to see my ID? May 6, 1973, baby. Class of 91. I told you. Okay, we're going to go to the skincare. I told you I sold skincare.
Yep.
You know what it is.
Yes. I was going to say that. I was going to be like, my God, that skincare is amazing. So let's talk about that. And then we're going to talk about the skincare and how dumb I have no idea. But and then we're going to talk about, you have the 4 different locations down there that
We do.
that you do tours, and I'm sure you know the history of, and we'll get into that. But first, we need to talk about how you're the queen of whatever that was called.
Oh, that New York Liz. Okay, I shouldn't. My mom. I'm kidding. So my mom, she used it. She got me turned on to it, and I love it. But no, honestly, like it's great stuff. It's called Neora. Love it. Sell it. They've got shampoo, all the other stuff. Not makeup. So good thing you found your tone at Sephora. But no, I mean, it's just all part taking care of yourself. But yeah, no, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
So if I have a predominantly female following, so if they are interested in, I don't believe you're 50 years old skin products, what they can reach out and get it from you, I guess.
They can also go to jtalley.neora.com, JTALLEY.neora and EORA.com. And that's my page, and they can look all the stuff. There's a weight loss thing called Neora Fit that I started on 2 years ago, and I lost 35 pounds.
Way to go.
Gained a little back, but now going back down. So yeah, it's good stuff. It really is.
I knew that would draw my wife out. There's my wife's post.
Please post link. Okay, I'll put it in the private chat.
I will, baby. I'll get y'all two connected. Yeah, I knew that was going to bring the wife out. Thanks for watching, babe. By the way,
there's the wife support.
Heck yeah. And Katie, love you, sis. I'll call you tomorrow. I'll be back in business mode tomorrow. I took the last 2 weeks off because I just needed to recharge. But
I hear you.
Hey,
we do these ghost hunts 6 nights a week. I do 3 to 4, and 4 because I'm a medium. It literally kicks my butt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And great segue. Let's go ahead and segue into the 4 locations.
How do you like that?
I see. We work well together.
There it is.
And Anna, here you go, babe. There's the link. Bam. There we go.
There it is.
So the 4 locations, let's just name them all first. And then I'm going to need you to categorize them by your favorite, your second favorite, and your least favorite. And then.
Oh, I can't. I won't do that.
I'm kidding. Yeah, I kid.
Oh my God, I'm in so much trouble. So, the meeting spot for the tours and one of the places we investigate is the Hotel Provincial at 1024 Charters. We do the Andrew Jackson Hotel. I'm actually doing a podcast tomorrow with Ron and Lourdes. Ron Gagnac Paranormal and a few of the others. We're going to talk specifically about that location and share some evidence. We do a place called Hands of Fate. and then another place called Starling Magic and Occult.
Ooh.
So 2 are hotels, and 2 are effectively metaphysical shops, both with different spiritual affiliations, so as such as they are.
Right. Well,
So
let's start with the occult building. For some
okay.
reason that just I'm drawn to that. So let's talk about that one first.
That one is owned by a lady named Priestess Claudia Williams. She does have a few books out. Voodoo Priestess, in fact, Voodoo Mamba, actually. So if there was a voodoo ceremony being performed, she would be the head lady.
Okay.
Back in the day, she and her husband, Jan, who also practices voodoo, but he has Bohemian Witch affiliation like I do, they used to travel with the band in the 70s. Here's our old people, ready? The band was called the New York Dolls.
Okay.
And she knew Madonna before Madonna was Madonna. She lived in New York. Their back house that we investigated is just records and guitars and stuff everywhere. She does mediumship stuff. They do custom oils and salts and blends. They could just make stuff for you at them. I think they dress candles too. They also have a great collection of like really unique antique books on different things, voodoo and magic and this stuff. But the back building, which is we cleaned it up and we called it the dependency unit now. Back in the day where we just said stuff, it was called the slave quarters. Right? So not much of it has changed. And on that property, that is where this enslaved family would have lived that served the people that owned them in the main house. Right. And so there's 2 courtyards, which is, not as common as you would think. So you have the receiving courtyard and the private courtyard, right? So back in the private courtyard was where the cistern was that under Spanish rule we had to have to put out fires. Kitchen, separate building, which would have been in the bottom part of the dependency unit. The slaves would have lived on top, cistern near that, which is where we just collected water from rain, right? And then we use that to put out fires. So there's a little girl, one of the spirits there is a little girl that haunts there that said her name's Chloe. And she passed away because she drowned in the cistern. Lots of speculation around that. We've had some people say that her mom did it. But from what we understand is Chloe had broken her leg and didn't heal right. And she was about 12, which back then was,
that's birthing age.
There was a woman life event that happened that made you eligible to be married, right?
Exactly.
And so I think what happened is, if that happened, the reason was mom wanted to save her from a life of being a baby factory, right? Pick one. And, they wouldn't have been nice about that process. We'll just say that.
Right.
So and she tells Claudia she doesn't want to move on because she likes us and she likes to talk to us. Claudia manages her spirits. She's a medium. And if we get some back there that get a little unruly, we're like, Claudia, go back and figure out the new one. So all the spirits that reside there by choice. We're not into necromancy. We don't do that.
Right.
Then there's the spirit of Johnny Thunder. So anyone who's a fan of the New York Dolls, he is one of the members. He's there. Then we have a spirit named Kurt, also a musician of sorts. There's an energy. He's the one who grabbed. This is where I investigated my first time. He's the one who grabbed me, and he's very. He's a gentleman who subscribes to the forgiveness versus permission kind of God. And so he wouldn't tell. We would ask him like, "What's your name?" Beelzebub, the devil. Blah blah blah. You're like, really.
Come on.
So I said, okay, we're going to give you a name unless you tell us what it is. And we said, okay, your name is Philip. And I don't know, either guest writer or likes it, whichever one, he answers to it.
Right.
And he will, so you use a lot of triggers, right? In paranormal investigation, trigger
Right.
objects.
Right.
This place subscribes to music as a trigger. And Philip likes the Curvy Girls a lot. And we have seen him on our SLS camera, Magic Mike straddling a girl.
Oh. ...
Just
Right.
go everywhere that takes you.
Right. Wow.
And it's funny you played your ghost music to Michael Jackson, because on the other side of that building, we will actually play Michael Jackson.
Oh, nice.
And we have SLS footage of them doing dance-offs, including moonwalking, Michael Jackson moves. I mean, it's interesting. It's almost like they like dance and they like point like you.
Yeah, right.
No, they do.
That's
do.
awesome. That's
It's
so
crazy.
cool. Yeah.
And so it just kind of reinforces the, hey, just because you're dead doesn't mean you still don't like it. You know, Philip loves Notorious B.I.G.
I like it when you call me Big Papa.
No, I like it when we call Big Pop and stuff. Yes. So we get a lot with music there. Chloe has told us a church hymn that she loves, so we'll play that for her. And sometimes you can see her dancing, like jumping up and down like a little kid.
Right.
So she likes balls, and she's got a little, she'll move like a little red ball or a cat ball out of your hand. So yeah, I mean, she's just sound cutting out. That's probably me, because the French Quarter and internet suck. They don't work. So that's Star, and there's rumor, and I'm trying to find an actual written backup of the fact that Aleister Crowley wrote on that property.
Oh.
It's an old story told by walking tour guides, but I cannot find anything in writing that, like, it came from somewhere, and I don't know where it is. And I'm actually in the process of looking for that, but that's a rumor about the property.
Well, I wouldn't doubt that he was in the old French Quarter or something writing, because it fits him.
I mean, he was here. We just can't pin him to that particular location.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
We do know he was here, just can't pin him there. And I'm trying so hard because, I mean, cool, right?
Right. Well, have you tried to look at the traffic cameras or anything to see if you caught him? Or
I did,
he didn't drive.
Half the time they don't work.
Well, back to the drawing board.
I know, right?
I get it. That's super interesting. If you could tie him to that place, how cool.
Yeah. But we did actually tie. So if you've heard of a show called American Horror Story.
What is that?
Yes.
Know, right.
Season 3 Coven. Oh my gosh, how many people come here to find that school, right?
Right.
And they portrayed the Axeman.
Yep.
Delphine Lalaurie inaccurately. Marie Laveau inaccurately.
Right.
But they portrayed another character that most people don't know, and they never said her name. And they split her between the Witch Supreme and the daughter.
Right.
So Jessica Lange, who actually lived down the street from me, and I forget the actress's name who played her daughter. She's been in everything, and she's phenomenal. And that lady's name was Mary Oneida Toops. And she founded the first Church of Witchcraft here in New Orleans at a place that is now called Hands of Fate. And that was where her coven was.
Oh.
And she was the supreme of her cousin, but she was also an herbalist witch, which is why you get the split in the character, because TV can't make the warm fuzzy witch, right?
Right.
You can't do that. And so they have a back room, which is adjacent to the where the pentagram still remains under flooring, but it's preserved, where she used to do her rituals and healing. And she married a man named Isaac Toops, who practiced voodoo. And they lived on property with another man who's a musician, also a voodoo practitioner here, who died just a few years ago, named Dr. John.
Like the singer?
So anyone who's a fan, like, yes.
Oh God.
Yep.
Season of the Witch is my favorite song.
Yep.
Sorry.
That Dr. John. Yes, sir.
No doubt. I knew him from music and I've loved his music, but I had no idea about the other side. That's fascinating.
And he and Isaac used to do some pretty heavy drugs. Heavy drugs. Mary moved out, so she had to take the establishment of the church. I'm talking 501c3 church, dude. I'm talking all the way to the Supreme Court. I'm getting this designation, second in the country, first in the state. She operated it, and I think until the 80s, and then one of her coven members named Russell took it over. Mary actually ended up passing away from what officially was called cancer, and unofficially, her coven members think something very different. So they think she was actually poisoned by one of the female members of her coven over time.
Oh.
We do not talk about her name, and I'm not going to mention her name because she can screw you up pretty bad.
Understood.
So when you name it, you claim it. I'm not claiming it. I'm not claiming it. No. But that's a crazy place. And it's a metaphysical shop now. They do kind of the same practice. They dress candles, they have herbs and things like that. And we go in their seance room, is, oh my God, it's so cool. And so it just kind of like the legacy continues, right?
Right.
So
And
that's cool. A lot of time people's loved ones come forward.
Oh.
And I'm usually with them. And that's usually where medium dimmer switch, because it's never an on and off, right? Goes to bright and says, okay, who's making the chocolate chip cookies right now in the checkered apron? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it goes to that. So that's a super cool place. Super cool. And it's owned by two men, Sam Bowling, who's been a medium for about 30 years, and Brick Talbot Bishop. And for any of you who knows the Salem witch trials, who is the first person executed? Bridget Bishop.
Yep.
I'm talking that Bishop.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We are our ancestors, huh? Wow.
Yep.
Cool. I hope my wife is not watching right now, because we'll be there in an hour.
Yeah, we'll soon.
Right. We'll be down shortly. Leave the light on.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And they're friends of ours. So the Hotel Provincials never let anybody investigate. There have been shows like Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures that have asked them. They've turned everyone down until us. And that's just simply because the owners know the owners, right? It's a family property. So and then, we know the owners. So it's just been one of those relationship kind of things, Who's watching? Okay.
Becky.
She's watching.
Yeah, my wife is I'm sure she's watching.
Yeah, she is.
My wife is also of the witch persuasion.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's right up. Yeah.
I'm witch by blood. I have two lines of witches from Bohemia.
Oh, sweet. My wife is a descendant of, let me get this right, John Bell of the Bell Witch family.
Really?
Yes. So, yeah.
Okay, I still want to meet her. That was I want to go. Is the Bell Witch Cave.
Well, since she's family, I think that they get special access to the cave, or something. Anyway, we'll make it happen.
Trade shirts or something. I don't know. Is that like a soccer player thing? It's a paranormal investigator thing now. Soccer players, too bad.
Right. Yeah, we're taking it now. We're just here. Yeah. So we'll definitely we'll be coming down there, because I had mentioned that I was, interviewing you, and I went down for my cigarette in New Orleans, and she goes, well, that's on my list of places to move to. I was like, okay.
Be careful.
I know. I'm going to miss her. Okay. Really cool place. So what else you got? I know you can.
So, okay, Hotel Provincial.
Yes.
Here's the thing. Very historic. Here's the thing. property is made up of 4 buildings, even though the back building's called Building 5. Hi, welcome to New Orleans.
Okay.
So, the front 2 buildings, which are, if you're looking at the property on the left, is where the banquet room is. And on the right is where the front desk and ice house bar is. Back in the day were 2 houses. In fact, one of them was actually a ladies' hair salon. The neighborhood itself would have been resident to people that owned slaves, free people of color, also Little Palermo. So our Sicilian immigration from the 1890s to 1925 would have a lot of Sicilian immigration there as well. The back part of the property had the first hospital in New Orleans, built in 1722. It was a royal military hospital, and it was operated by the Ursuline Order of Nuns. The convent is literally next door. Founded in 1718, ... It is the first hospital. So it also had an herb garden where they grew a lot of herbs for.
Right.
So it was a hospital till 1831, till they sold that property to some Italians that turned it into a macaroni factory. In fact, the nuns, you ready for this? Owner financed it.
Oh, of course they did.
And the payments meant to the archbishop at the time. There was a fire at the macaroni factory, and that building was damaged and then repaired to what it is now. So if you think in Gallatin Street's just down the block, which is where our rough, tough bar, jazz, other neighborhood was, right? So if you think about all of that stuff, you had Little Palermo, you had enslaved people, you have Italians, we had the Black Hand here, so mafia, right? All of that. So we get a lot of transient spirits there. And we investigate the banquet room building on that. So we get nun, things like that. The back building, Building 5, if anyone's going to stay there, there's a woman there who would have worked for the nuns that would have come over, I say by force, but I mean, it is by choice, but the choice was stay in prison or go work for the nuns.
Right.
Probably a prostitute back in France that was arrested. And so she makes you see blood on the sheets in your room.
Oh, of course.
And they get calls at the front desk to come up and say, oh, there's blood on the sheets. I mean, welcome to the hotel, right? And they get up there and there's nothing there. And the guests are saying, no, they were here. It was here. And then she also hates men. She'll throw their belongings on the floor, but she'll actually, if you're a woman, she'll straighten up your jewelry and tidy your side of the bed on the nightstand. And she's actually, so if you think about 1700s, you would have had to put, pin your hair up, cover your head, working in the hospital. I've seen her too, and she does this with her hair. She just shakes her hair down.
Yeah.
And she's actually taken women's hair down that has been loosely up, taking their hairpins out.
Oh, kind of like it's time to relax, sort of.
Yeah, take your hair down.
Yeah.
And I almost got pushed down the stairs by Sister Madeline, who was one of the first Mother Superiors, because I was in her way.
Well, thank God they didn't have yardsticks back then.
Yeah, I know, right? We just grabbed the tree trunk.
Oh my God.
So that place is super active.
Well, I got to ask, and for those of you that are having audio difficulties, I think it's
girls. Okay, yeah, here it is.
I think it's Facebook that's having the audio issues. Go to my YouTube at Shaman Sundays and try that. Also, before we keep going, you had a question. From Tabitha, have you ever studied under/with anyone for mediumship?
I did. You'd think it's very prominent here in New Orleans, and the answer is no. I spent 3.5 years looking for someone to help me. I ran into 2 people. One still resides here, one does not. Sam Bowling and Brick Bishop. Those are 2 people that still reside here, and without them, and we do sitting circles on Mondays and mediumship class, and without them, I'd still think some of the voices in my head aren't real. And I met another lady named, her Her name on Facebook is Samhain Arena Crowley. I call her Arena or Crowley. She has what's called the 777 Mystery School, but I met her at another place here, and one of the most powerful people I've ever been around, honestly. And sorry, my dog's starting to snore. Oh my God.
That's so cute.
He's cute. He's a Rottweiler. Yes, he's cute. Anywho, he's just a large cute.
Right.
She'd do that stuff as well, and I'd love to put a class together with her. It's hard to find, but it's so important to have that support group and to filter and to learn and to how do you see spirit? How do you see spirit? What are you feeling? How are your dreams? You have to have that support, or I mean, you could physically just go crazy. Right?
Yep.
I see someone asking about the casket girls, right?
Tabitha again. Tabitha, you're on it tonight.
Love you, Tabitha. You and I are like girls now. So casket girls, there's the legend at the convent that says they toted vampires here, right? And back in the day, there was an actual job with the archdiocese called vampire hunter, and you got a little kit and you exhumed the crypts of the people that you thought and silver staked and all the things. But the casket girls were actually sent here from France because they wanted to marry off young girls of their own, French to French, right? And so they were usually brought from orphanages when they hit that that proverbial marrying age,
Right.
that lifespan. And dropped off around the Gulf Coast, Biloxi and, all of the French colonies, including New Orleans. So, and they were called the casket girls because their belongings were in these little, they're actually about this big. I mean, if you're an orphan girl, geez, how much stuff do you have?
Exactly.
Like nothing. The legend says they were coffin sized. They weren't. They were about like this. And they were called cassettes in French. And we just kind of Walmarked it and said casket. So,
Nice. Walmart it. I like it.
So they were a real thing, but I about the tide of vampires and things like that. I'm still waiting for more information. Right. I hate to say things aren't true. I just say I'm waiting for more information.
They brought Lestat over here.
They did.
Right. That's what happened.
With the nuns. There's rumor one of the nuns knew. I don't know. From somewhere. The vampires came from somewhere. It wasn't just Egypt.
Right. And, the Catholic Church doesn't hide anything at all.
Oh, never. No.
No. So
I got to be careful, though, because we do work with them.
I have one Catholic priest friend.
Really?
Yep. And that's about it. Of course, I'm also a master Mason. So Masons in the Catholic Church don't get along very well, but
no. We're lucky enough to have found the right Catholic priest just outside the quarter who got us in touch when we were doing the Demon House for a specific reason with one of the exorcist priests here, one of three. And
that's cool.
If you know anything about Catholic Church and exorcist priests and stations, you usually have one per state. Yep. We have 3 in New Orleans.
Right. And that's that would be yeah. And that was like another reason why I don't need to come down there. You have 3 exorcists.
Yeah. The one that we deal with, we're not allowed to say this particular priest's name.
Right.
It's so refreshing because the conversation when we met with him first about this demonic case we have with an exorcism certification that took 72 hours, just FYI. The conversation started with you shouldn't hunt ghosts, blah, 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 right. To, okay, so next time we don't have enough evidence when people need an exorcism, would you go there and collect it for us?
Right.
It 180. It totally won. But I think some of that came from the fact that we admitted the mistakes we made on our case, but then we also collected a lot of really good evidence too.
Well, I think also too they're putting feelers out to see, because obviously if they're an exorcist, they believe they know what's up, but they, you know, and I wish I can't say the name of my friend either, but it would make it so much easier. But they kind of know, like they get all these crazy people. Let's just say it. Let's just call it.
No, I mean you do. But listen, there is a very fine line to walk that you walk between spiritual possession and medical or mental issues.
Right.
Short of levitation.
Correct.
Right?
Right. And sometimes my coffee makes me levitate.
It'd be right. Strong coffee could do it. So I mean, exactly.
Right.
I had someone call the other day. They had in the office, they said someone called that wanted us to come out and investigate because their toilet flushed by itself.
By herself. It's a female toilet.
I think
it must be. Is it a Dubai? Dubai? What do they call that thing? I don't even know.
Bidet, but I feel like that's more for men. I don't know.
I thought it was. I don't know. I just remember I was overseas and I pushed a button and water went where it wasn't supposed to.
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't know. Ooh. So we have two more locations and like 20 minutes left.
Okay,
one more. Good.
One more. Andrew Jackson Hotel. Andrew Jackson Hotel, talked about by so many walking tour guides, right? Always say there was a fire and these boys haunt there. Here's the thing. We've been hunting this place for 5 years. 5 years. The property itself, and there's a hotel next to it called the Cornstalk Fence Hotel. Back in like the early mid to late 1700s, it was called the Old Spanish School and Orphanage. The website of the Andrew Jackson says it was destroyed after 1794, the fire. We had 2, that was the second. But the map of that fire, it never went down that far. Sorry, Andrew Jackson website. So we're going to say it's 1788. We found more evidence that it was that. So Old Spanish School and Orphanage, right? So orphans weren't, they didn't care. Let's just be honest. We housed them because they're kids because we felt guilty, right?
Right.
And then at 12 or 13, when they could work, we kicked them out in the streets and didn't care what happened to them.
Exactly.
So there's rumored that some of the kids didn't make it out. After that, the lot was split. Where the Andrew Jackson was the first district courthouse. Next to it was the home of Judge Francis Xavier Martin, who served as one of the judges at some point at the courthouse, and I think was a Supreme Court judge at some point. But as a district courthouse, I mean, it was a courthouse. What happened in the mid to late 1800s? So execution, right? Hangings, right? Andrew Jackson had declared martial law right after the Battle of New Orleans, and had kept it after because he was afraid there was going to be another attack. And there was a guy who wrote an article, I forget the author's name, that criticized him. And so Andrew Jackson had him imprisoned. There was a writ of habeas corpus filed on the guy's behalf. This judge granted it. And so Andrew Jackson had the judge in prison too. So in 1815.
Of course, right on.
Of course he did. After all of it was lifted, he pardoned everyone in the jail that he had imprisoned. The judge got back on the seat and fined Andrew Jackson $1,000 for it. And he paid it, actually.
I mean, I guess I would too.
I guess. So imagine what that is back in the day, right? I heard it was 100. I've seen 1,000. Honestly, I think it was $100, and it would have equated to 1,000.
To 1,000, right?
Yeah. So then it went to a state of disrepair. The building was sold in like 1880-ish. And then at some point later 1800s, beginning of 1900s, it was the Andrew Jackson Hotel. So hauntings are the boys. And that's what most tour guides talk about, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple kids there but like spirits attract like spirits, just like people attract like people, right? So we do
Right.
get other kids there. There's that vampire priest I talked about. There's a gentleman named Paul. We think his last name is Garrett, but we aren't sure. We know because of the G. And he's told us he was executed on the property for clubbing his mother to death, but he's innocent. And he stays there until his name's cleared. We're actually trying to convince the New Orleans DA to come on his off time to pardon him. And it's been a little bit of a thing. And then there's an old entity called Master. He wants to be called Master,
Okay.
which we thought was a child molester type energy that hurt the kids. Shown himself several ways. He's shown himself as a hat man to people. Shown himself as like a short, fat guy in overalls. But I've never seen an energy hold a K2 meter straight yellow for 20 minutes while we have him on SLS sitting in a chair. And the minute he disappears, the K2 goes to nothing.
Right.
Have you?
No. Not for 20 minutes. Definitely not.
I've never seen one hold one solid. Solid. Not blinking. Solid.
I got nothing on that one.
That
That's
tells me
crazy.
Old energy.
Yep.
I'm debating if he's human.
Are we thinking like elemental?
I don't know if it's elemental for sure, but we have found that he's a protector of the kids. He kind of fills out the people on our tours. And if he likes that particular person's energy, he lives in a supply closet in the hotel. That's where we take people. If he likes your energy, he lets the kids come talk to you. If he doesn't, he will tower over you.
Okay.
And not let kids talk to you. And it's taken like the last few years for us to really change our stance. The supply closet used to get like crap thrown all over until we took over. I would say managing, not really, but yeah, I mean, yeah.
Right.
And we started bringing him offerings, cigarettes and coffee and things like that, bring candy for the kids, and just saying, well, Master, what do you want to talk about tonight? You know, do you have anything to say? What do you want to chit chat about? And sometimes he'll talk, and sometimes he'll say no, and he'll let the kids come forward. And so that's just something that a lot of people here do not know. So he's interesting. He did not like Chris, my husband. He told him F off. I hate you. Didn't like him. But they made up. Yay. I know. And there's flowers and stuff on different days. No, I mean, and so that's like a place. It went from me going there all the time to him going there all the time. And it's one of his favorite places because Paul's really developed a relationship with him. And, you know, it's a great place to stay in. Interesting. Hotels. Have you ever noticed that a lot of the older hotels have even number rooms on one side and odd number rooms on the other, right?
Yeah, right.
Except for this one.
Oh.
There are 2 rooms. 208 and 209 have magically switched sides.
Huh.
And you can still see the outline of the old numbers on each room.
I wonder how that happened. Super interesting. And then I have to bring up what Tabitha says. She said something about, was he a toy maker? Perhaps.
Was he? I mean, fair.
I mean, the only toy maker.
I feel he's old.
The only toy maker I can think of
like,
made one of these, and we know what happens with that. Oh, toy
he's
maker.
Not Santa. Honestly, I don't know why I hear the name the number 300, but I feel like he's at least that old.
Or it's just the good movie that you watch over and over.
Or that, either one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, crazy stuff.
That is super interesting. So where can, if people want to come down and take tours from you, and how can they reach you? Yeah, that kind of stuff. I'm tripping
That
over my words.
So, New Orleans Paranormal Society.com, and I'll put it in the, if I spell New Orleans Paranormal Society.com. Let's hope that works. I put it in the private chat.
Got it.
And I will put, they do custom stuff. So we've done custom tours for people. So you can do a VIP tour where it's just your group. Custom tours allow you to do like, hey, I want to do one location, and then I want to do a Ouija board or a seance or all those other things. We can do all that stuff too. So all those, did I spell all that crap right?
New Orleans. Paranormal Society. It looks like
Okay,
it.
good. I don't have my glasses on, so. But yeah, I mean, they can do that, and I'll be honest with you, Chris is the most reviewed guide we have. If you ever meet him, his personality matches that.
Did you want this phone number up there too?
Sure.
Okay. And you can also reach them by phone.
Phone or text, yeah. They can.
Yeah.
They'll answer either. So yeah, I mean, definitely, it's a fun experience. It's about 3 hours, but that there's a bar break, people, and we call it a potty break. Really, it's a bar break. At a local bar, and that's instruction. And I mean, hey, you've got SLS cameras to use by Horn Paranormal, because Scott builds a bunch of our equipment, and she builds some REM pods for us. And I do the Estes method. One of the other guys does not, which is fun. Look it up. It's a good thing. It's a fun thing to do. We have dowsing rods from who does North Canton Paranormal Detectives, and they've got a paranormal tripwire that we use too.
Oh, sweet.
Their dowsing rods actually light up.
Yeah, I actually have a pair of the light up dowsing rods.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love them. I love them.
Oh, they're great.
I never get to use them, but other people snatch them quickly.
Yeah,
they're
whatever.
Yeah,
yeah, they're good stuff. So I mean, you get to get hands on all that stuff, you know. And here's the thing: we're not out there to convince you that this stuff's real. That's not our job. We ask you to remain in the middle and figure it out for yourself.
Well, right. Oh, and also hopefully here pretty soon you'll be using some equipment from Supernatural Inc.
Yeah, we need more stuff. Send it. Give us the stuff. Definitely, we need more stuff.
I mean, that's what paranormal means in Cherokee. I need more stuff.
I need more stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We still got a couple minutes here. We can chit chat. So, what's your favorite cocktail down there in the French Quarter?
That I don't make, that is untraditional. It's not gin. Traditional French 75. Yes, I'm very adamant about that. It is a French 70 is a champagne cocktail made with brandy. So gin is the summer version, brandy is the non-summer version, simple syrup, egg whites, and champagne, and some lemon juice, and it's fabulous. But don't drink more than 2 if you want to be coherent.
Good advice. Also, this kind of just hit me. Isn't there a bar somewhere in the quarter that there's a fireplace and there's like glowing red eyes that stare out of the fireplace?
It's blacksmith shop.
Okay. So I'm not losing my mind about that one. Okay. You've helped me more than my therapist today. Like you're only half crazy and you're not losing your mind. Just warms my heart.
I'm just one voice away in my head from being crazy.
Well, I mean, I've got like 6 voices telling me what to do, and one of them's just whistling. Yeah, it's just whistle. He just sits there and whistles. I'm like, what the heck? Stop it, squirrel.
Squirrel.
And you
You
said
know
that right. You said that you do the Estes method. Do you enjoy doing the Estes method?
I actually don't get to do it very often. It's so hard to do for people because you can't get past that white noise in the spirit box, right? People can't get past that. And they're like, I don't know, I hear radio. You're supposed to live. It's hard to tell people, describe to people, listen around the noise. I mean, that's what you're trying to do.
Yep.
I do like it because you know what, man? When it hits, it hits. It really does. People are just like, holy crap.
Yeah. And the reason I bring it up, we have a guy on here watching, Greg Koss. He's one of the OGs of ITC. One of his shows, he does a double Estes, and that's the show.
Yeah.
And like, it's super cool. If you haven't seen it, or maybe you might would like to participate in one of his shows, but that'd
be awesome.
It's pretty cool. You know what? I'm gonna hook you up with all kind of podcasts. You're just gonna be podcasting everywhere.
I'd be like podcast girl. Listen, on my Estes method, we do not use a blindfold because I think if your ghost tour guide pulls out a blindfold, that's called #creepy.
Ooh, #pay extra for that.
Or when was the last time it was washed? Anyway, or what else do you use it for? Like, there's just so many places.
Yeah, why does it smell like a sock? And then, just go from there.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'm like, close your eyes.
I'm going to gently place this to where you can't see. Why am I tying your hands? It's part of the experiment.
Don't mind the whip noise in the background. It's fine.
Just remember the word kumquat. Oh my God.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
I have thoroughly 100% enjoyed this. Oh, would love to have you back on in a couple months down the road. Yeah. I mean, I don't know most people's words rutabaga, but I like kumquat better.
There's so many ways you could go there.
Exactly.
And they grow here. They do.
Oh my God. And so does, and you have an entire island of Tabasco.
You do. Just don't McElhaney.
Yeah. Smart man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's. I mean, y'all go to the island. I already know the history because I love Tabasco sauce, but y'all go down there. Go get some ghost hunting in. Go get you a little Tabasco. Come back and get you one of them kitchen sink drinks like my wife is talking about right here.
Oh, hellfire. No kitchen sink drinks. You know what we call that here, though, right?
No, what is it?
So the kitchen sink that I know of is where they take the bar mats and drain it into a glass and serve you.
Yep.
No,
I got her a drink called a Blue Motorcycle years ago. And it's like a Long Island iced tea, but double everything. And so I ended up having to walk her back to the hotel in Gatlinburg,
She walked,
Tennessee.
or did you drag her?
I drug her, and then I had to like pick her up over the shoulder because we were on the 3rd floor. The elevator was out, so I had to walk her. Woo! What a night. Okay, Kimberly Horn. She likes to write novels. Jennifer Talley has a good video that we made on location. Touched her hand, and you can see the energy transfer between them. I think we have it posted on our. You know what? Next time I have you on,
I don't have that.
You need to send that to her, Kim. Like,
yes, share, girl.
Next time I have you on, let's do like some evidence from some of your locations.
Yeah.
Or definitely. Just what? Or we just sit here and talk about rutabagas and kumquats. I don't care. It's just way. Whatever.
Just as long as it's not eggplants, we're good.
Oh no! Ooh, there's a rabbit hole we can go down. So I like to end my show, and if you could just hang out for a couple minutes after the show, that would be awesome. But I always like to end my show with the same saying, and it meant a lot to me when I came up with it, and hopefully it'll mean something to you. And actually, I have to look to see before I can say that. Carol Garcia helps me close my show when she's feeling good. And let's see if she has put it up there. If not, somebody will jump in for her. But I always say it's not about surviving the storm, but it's how you dance in the rain. And, you know, that's what it's all about, y'all. And having fun, meeting new people. This is what the paranormal field is supposed to be like.
Yep.
So, oh, there we go. Carol said it. And as always, remember what Carol Garcia says. Remember to smile. I love each and every one of you, my tribe. Thank you guys for tuning in to watch this quasi crazy dude just scream at a screen for like 2 hours. So, yeah, if you'll just hang out and I'll take us out. Love everybody. Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, no, I don't have a producer. I have to do this myself.
Uh-oh.
Okay, here we go. Maybe not. Shit. Hold on, Erica. Just smile. Just smile.